before we go into it, tell us, obviously, do we have your permission to record this session?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's go look at our tracking sheet. What's your conversion rate right now? Your conversation to appointment rate. Let's open the tracking sheet without sharing the screen because we both have a tracking sheet. Because what I'm about to show you, I aim to increase your conversion rate at least to my level, which is 70 or 90%. If you talk to someone, right, around 70% or 90% of the time, you get that appointment. So your only problem now is just to keep ringing people and talk to people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
in terms of tracking sheet, what's your current conversion rate from conversation to appointment? Just have a look.
5.
So do you know how to look at that?
It's on the
Yep. So last week you have 375 conversation. Is that conversation? That stays.
yes. Oh, that's dial.
Oh, that one shouldn't have
Oh
a.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Did we not make any column for the appointment? I think
this was
I don't think we make any column for the conversation. We only make the total for the first one and the total for the last one, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So can you work that out real quick? What what the sum of the red one? Hang on. Let me just do that real quick. I put. Can you see my my writing? So the total appointment last week is 78. So 78 conversation, and you got 22 appointment.
Appointments.
So that's around 104, 20 to 80, 104, right? That's 25%. So that means you speak to 4, you book 1, correct? Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if you round the 22 up to 20 and you round that 78 to 80, that's 20 over 80. So that's 1/4, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? About 21/4, 25%. How do you feel about that?
That's high. It's a high appointment rate.
Based on your experience, based on your thing?
Yeah, I mean, if I get an appointment for every 4 people that I talk to, I think it's pretty high.
How about I show you a training that we can ramp that number up to 70 or 90%. And even if you book, we want to show that the people you book have quality, that they're going to show up, right?
Yes.
Are you ready for a training?
Ready.
Yep. So it's similar to the video I sent you last night, but I'm going to go in detail and we can role play with each other, and feel free to ask me any question. Okay. That sounds fair?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm using the same thing on you right now. I'm using confirmation, permission, and everything. Do you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm a little bit aware.
All right. Look, this is how to actually increase your appointment and show rate, right? And this is how to actually handle objection. Because every time you're on the phone, people always think this guy tried to sell me something, and then they put up a defense wall. You know, it's like the defense wall. You can't get through that wall. So the whole goal is to not let them raise that wall in the first place. Because when they raise that wall, most of the time the game is over, right? Number one is certainty and your belief, right? And I talked about this like before, right? It's hard and it takes time, but you have to have certainty of our company and our service and our offer. You have to believe that what we're doing is, really, really good, and it's in the benefit of their interest, right? You believe that what we do is a good thing, right? We're not like out there to, just harm anyone.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what we do is we provide a digital service that help improve their life, because people right now is old school. People you talk to, like they 30, 40 years old, they old school, they live in the past. We help to improve their life. Okay. Do you know what we do, right, Terence?
Yeah. We we generate we generate leads for them, but
Yeah.
not just leads through Facebook or Instagram. There's a variety of other services, and we have a system that pre-qualifies the leads before we send it to them in real time.
Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
Do you
I
think
mean, it's gonna help them a lot.
do you think that will help them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you sound like you have certainty. You have to show that to them, right? Because like when I asked you, you don't say, yeah, sure, yeah, sure. You sound, yeah, it is. You sound with certainty. So I take that, right? And you have to have pure, genuine intention, right? A belief of helping others. You have to be pure. When you ring them, I know I can help this guy, and I'm here. I want to help this guy. I'm not here to fucking sell him bullshit. I'm not here to book appointment. If you shift that perspective of booking appointment, I mean, I do track your appointment, but I do track the quality of the appointment. If you shift that intention, you will get maybe less or more appointment. I'm not sure until you actually apply it. But then for sure, you're going to get more quality appointment because people can hear your intention over the phone. Okay. And that two thing is might sound simple, but it's hard to do. It takes me quite some time to do that. Okay. So just letting you know, and if you have note right now, you better write some of this down. But you can, rewatch this video as a replay. Just want to make sure we record this, right? Yeah, we have this on recording. Right. So if you have any note, feel free to take notes. So it's better for help you with the learning and the remembering. Okay. So so the first thing is take lead. Just like dancing, do you do any dancing?
No.
Yeah. So when you do dancing, it's a partner, you and the girl. What you do is the guy always take lead. And by taking lead is always ask question. Whoever asks the most question win. That's how you take lead, right? And we talk about this many, many times, right? Ask question, but ask with permission. Just like dancing, you don't force anyone. You don't just grab a lady and force her to dance with you. You ask for permission. You ask for her hand, right? And answer a question with a question. And we talked about this already, right? So they ask you, what service do you offer? What service do you need, right? You got to get reflex. That's called reflex. And there's no script. I can't give a script that have everything like this in. It has to build in your mind. You have to be in your framework, and you have to know and use this all the time. There's no script I can teach that. But the script we have is pretty much have all of that integrated in, right? So if someone asks you, can you send me an email? What do you say?
What do you want me to send you?
Yeah, you're getting better. You're getting better. Well, man, where are you from? Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Where are you from?
You can't. Oh, you're calling them. I don't really ask where they're from. You know where they're from, right? So,
Oh, why do you want to know?
look, what I mean by answering a question with a question is not to actually dodge it and pass it back to them. You have to address their concern, and then you can, pass that question back to on to them, right? So if someone said, "Well, what do you do?" Well, John, can I give you an example of what I do? So that's a question, and that's permission. Question and permission. And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." Well, you know how real estate agent and mortgage broker like yourself try 10 different channels of prospecting, door knocking, cold calling, networking, referral, and all that stuff with no little result. What we do is we help them add an extra channel that help you get 20 to 30 appointments. So what do you do, John? Well, if they ask you with a concern, you have to address the concern, and then you can fire back with a question. If you being like, well, where are you from? Well, where are you from? You're like rebutting with them. If you rebut with
Yeah.
them, they will have a war, right? So, well, who's this? Where are you calling from? Well, John, I'm calling from South Australia, but like I said, I work with agents and broker all across Australia. So let me ask you this, and then you continue with the question on that script. You address the concern very brief, very shortly. It's like the girl. The girl want you to spin her, you spin her, but then you still take the lead. You know what I mean? It's like dancing. You're always in control. And if I listen to your call recording, if I hear them ask you a question more than you ask them a question, you lose. That's why I need the call recording, right? Whoever asks the most question win. And you have to address the concern. If someone have a concern and you just ignore that and you just fire back with a question, you know, it's wrong. So, maybe if someone asks what you do, it depends on the flow of the conversation. If someone asks that at the end, like after a 20-minute chat, I would address that concern. We basically do that with Facebook, with targeting and all that stuff. But let me ask you some more questions. But if someone asks that at the very beginning of the question, well, what do you need? It's different scenario. That's why no script can adjust with this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is the most important one, and you probably hear that from a lot of my call. Isolate the objection, and this is so powerful, and you can use that in your personal life, not just appointment setting, right? What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that, right? So when someone asks you, can you send me an email? Well, what do you mean? Like, how much is the cost? Like, how much do they charge? Well, what do you mean? Like, don't assume, never assume anything until you get to the root of the objection. You understand that part?
Yes.
So if you can use that pretty much for your personal life. If your wife come home and say like, Terrence, I don't feel like you love me anymore. Well, what do you mean? You never, like most people would just say, they just start the argument and they start fighting each other. Because when everyone fight, naturally the human instinct is to put up a wall and said, I'm right, you're wrong. And then the other person said, I'm right, you're wrong. Look at this my way. Don't look at this your way, right? So what you want to do is just take a deep breath. Every objection you get is, what do you mean? Because I get that all the time, right? So when your wife said, Terrace, I feel like you don't love me anymore. You said, what do you mean? Well, it could mean 1,000 things. It could mean like, she feel like you're not close to the children anymore, or she feel like you're not bringing enough money to the house. Could mean a million things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, can you send me can you send some email and we'll talk later? Well, what do you mean? Well, I just want to know, what your company do, what the cost is and all that stuff. All right. Well, can I ask you a question? Well, yeah, sure. Well, Jenny, how about I do something better? I send you a sample of the listing that we have and we get for all of our other partner. Like, wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better? Remember I told you about that word? If I do that, wouldn't it be better? If I can show you that, wouldn't it be better? If I can show you a sample of our listing, because I'm going to walk you through our email campaign later on, and you know what I mean, right? You ask, what do you mean? And you agree and confirm, like, sure, 100%. Can you send me some email? Sure. Like, you ask, what do you mean? And then they go like, oh, I'm gonna need some cost, some information from your company. Then you said 100%. I'll do that after the phone call. But can I ask you a question? Now you fire back at them, right? You always want to agree and confirm, because when you agree and confirm, you acknowledge their concern. They said, I have a concern. I acknowledge that concern, but can I ask you a question? How about I send you something even better? I send you a sample of our listing that we're currently getting for our partner. How about that? Like, wouldn't it be better if I do that? Like, I already have a marketing team. What do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, 100%. But can I ask you a question? Tell us, you said, Vico, I'm sick. I can't come to work today. Well, what do you mean? The blah, 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 blah. 100%, man. But can I ask you a question? Like, wouldn't it be better to come to work just for 2 hours today so you can actually at least pay your bill next coming month? Get that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna test you all the time on that. I don't want to be like people are listening and not think, right?
Right.
People have an objection. What do you mean? Blah 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 blah. 100%. I hear what you're saying. I know where you're coming from. I feel you. But can I ask you a question? Wouldn't it be better to do this? And then now you redirect them and asking them from a different perspective, right? Right. I don't want to be too much theory, going to the practical. Right. Terrace, I already have a marketing team, man. So I wish you all the best, but I'm not going to be talking to you guys anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just paying someone right now. They're very cheap and quite happy with them. So yeah.
Well, that's great, but can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Well, if we can help you generate 20 to 30 more highly pre-qualified first home buyers or sellers who want to list consistently, don't you think that would be beneficial for your company?
Well, I mean, yeah. But how do you do that?
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my boss Vico give you a call. I'm gonna set an appointment with you and him to to have a quick chat, and he'll answer all your questions, everything about it. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'll say that's a 10 out of 10. That was perfect. But only because I tell you this straight away, right? But I give you credit for that. That's good. Imagine people get cold call like this all the time, right? They got a fucking phone call from telemarketer all the time. But if you're different and you behave different and you genuine, they can feel your concern, you will appear different and they will pick you because you're different. Like you're gonna understand people get phone call like this all the time, right? So look, mate, I get phone call. Look, this is a role play again. Like, mate, I get phone call all of this all the time. I don't have time for your shit. What do you say?
What do you mean?
Well, people like you just keep calling me nonstop. I get like 10 different phone calls this morning. Like, what do you got to sell? Pitch me real quick. 2 minutes. I give you. Hurry up.
Okay. Hey, can I ask you a question?
No, I'm literally got 2 minutes. Gonna hang up now. Hurry up.
Well, I understand. You've been getting a lot of phone calls. I'm gonna get frustrated if I get those kinds of phone calls too. But hey, can I just ask you a question real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Now, if our company can help you generate 10 to 20 highly motivated, pre-qualified first home buyers and sellers who want to list consistently, and increase your appointments, of 10 to 20 every month, doesn't that sound beneficial for you and your company?
You're my rock star.
You like
That's
that?
it.
You like it? All right.
Oh my God, that is so good. I would say that's a 10 out of 10. That's 10 out of 10. Perfect.
Appreciate it, man.
Do you understand how this is so powerful? It's go beyond appointment setting. It's go beyond sell. You can use this to influence people in a non-manipulative way. Like your friend or your mom. Hey, Terrence, I want to borrow some money. Well, what do you mean? Right? And then said, oh, I got this problem and this problem. You never handle any objection without knowing the true concern. Right? People want to fight with you. Well, what do you mean? Then he said, I want to fight with you because of A, B, and C. Well, I hear where you're coming from, 100%, right? But can I ask you a question? If we can address A, B, and C, wouldn't you want to look at this at X, Y, and Z?
Right.
Redirecting and relooping. People want to feel like you understood. So you want to say, what do you mean? Get to the root, confirm and agree, and redirect them to whatever you want to feel, like whatever you want to address them and redirect them to. Okay, it's so powerful, man. Temperature check. Last one. How do you feel about feel? Always have that. How do you feel about scheduling a 10, 20 minute phone call with my boss at 4 p.m. tomorrow? So again, at the end of that role play, you know, if you can replace the final script, well, if someone say, well, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, that's a good question, Terrace. So I'm just finished until you taking your note. You're taking your note, right?
Good. Good.
Yeah. So imagine that conversation at that role play. Remember that? So someone said, "Well, how do you do how do you do that?" And then you said, "Oh, let's schedule a time with my boss." Right? Let's change that to that one. So, well, how do you do that? Well, that's a good question, Terrace. How do you feel about scheduling a 10 to 20-minute phone call with my boss tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m.? And then you wait for them to answer. That's a temperature checks. Well, that sounds good. All right. Yeah, let's lock you in. And what he do is he gonna run you through our system, see if we can help you. And if it sounds good for the both parties, we both move forward. If it's not, we'll be honest with you and we just shake hand and part as friend, something like that, right? All in my head, non-scripted. But what we want, because it's true. It's not like try to get them into something. It's true. I'm gonna talk to them. I see if we can help them, and then we move forward. If we can't, we'll be honest with that, and then we'll shake hand and part as friend. Okay. So what you're currently doing right now is someone well, how do you do that? You said, well, let's schedule a time with my boss. Well, that's a bit direct, right? That's like, let's do this. Well, that's a good question. Now you acknowledge them. See, you acknowledge them. That's a good question, Terrace. How do you feel about doing this? Well, now you're asking how they feel. You really care about how they feel, right? Remember at the beginning of the call, Terrace, can I have your permission to record this call? And you said, yeah. How about in another scenario, I didn't ask you any question. I just go ahead and record the call. I don't give a shit how you feel. I mean, like, it's not going to be too different from your perspective, but the act of asking is genuine concern. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that? And when you really get into the temperature check, you get to the root of people are going to show. People are going to remember you. Remember, most of the appointments from other appointment setter, they're like, who's this? I don't remember talking to her because there is no structure in place. No one addressed the concern. No one asked how they feel. Right? Get that?
Yes.
Is there any more questions, Terrace?
No. No. Do you have anything for me? Anything else?
No, I'm just checking on you. How you feel?
I know. I know you're
Well,
checking.
how, Terrace, how do you feel about this training?
It's really helpful. Gives me another 10 to 20% boost of the confidence that I already have, setting appointments. So I'm more confident now than I was ever before.
If you apply one of these to your normal daily whatever call, you're gonna boost it up. And I want to take you up to at least 70 to 90%. So your problem right now is just talk to more people. Like honestly, if we go to a random stranger and we tell them we can help you, like what kind of people like don't help? If you every business have a problem because I talk to a lot of business owner. Like I'm not the one who teach and don't do. I'm calling more than you actually. So I know that every one of them need more lead, need more sales, need more help, need to be better, right? If you go to the structure that I tell you, you're gonna get people who are interested, like 70 to 90% of the time, right? So warning, this objection handling only work if you have enough rapport and set frame correctly in the beginning. Okay, so when you ask like, well, can I ask you a question? Said no. Was something wrong in the front? So you have to ask them. You build rapport. Hey, this is Terrace. You go to the friend frame, and then you ask now. You got 10 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes for a quick chat. Then he said, yeah. Now he just give you permission 10 minutes of his time. So when you said, can I ask you a question? Yeah, of course, because he just give you the permission. Well, how do you feel about setting a time for tomorrow at 4 p.m.? Well, I'm busy right now. So, you know what I mean? This only work if the beginning of the call is set correctly. She only dance with you if you set the frame and the intention correctly, right? It's not going to work all the time. You have to have enough rapport, enough trust, and set the correct frame. Okay. Right. That's the end of the slide, and that's the end of the training. Let's any questions for now?
No, no questions.
Let's show you our appointment setting calendar. You have to go there and study our campaign, right? So this is a sample campaign. Let's see. This is most of our common question is, can you send me an email, right? This is what you would send. You send an email like this. So once they go into the pipeline, you go to active campaign, click active campaign and add them to a VA email realtor. And this is what in the email, you have to see what inside the email so you have an understanding what's actually gets sent out, right? So we send out text that said, hey, first name, great for chatting with you today. I just sent an email to here, to their email, just to confirm that we have the right email on file. Because sometimes you misspell the email somehow, right? And we send them, the one helpliner, and we send them a couple of screenshots. See, you can see here a couple of screenshots of our lead and our inquiry. Okay, so that's what you said in the script. Go send me some email. Well, can I ask you a question? Wouldn't it be better if we send you a sample of our list, of our lead, of our inquiry in your local area to your email? They're gonna say yes. So this is what you send to them. All you have to do is just add them to the campaign, right? You only send them to the VA email. You don't touch other campaign. But what we have is we have a social proof campaign that that's like before the closing call. I mean, like you can go through and read that, but you can't send anyone that just you're not at that level yet. You're not at that level that I entrust you to send people to this campaign. Okay.
Okay.
And we have a nurturing before sales. So we have like call one. So look, this is our structure. So we have a 3-stage, right? Appointment set, call one, and call two, right? So when appointment set, you send them email one. At call one, I would send them email two and the social proof. And call two, before the call two, I send them the social proof, SP social proof, right? So you only can send the email one, but it's a good idea for you to actually have a look and see what the what's the VA email look like. Okay. Is there any question for now?
No questions.
Social. I was gonna say something, but just fly through my head.